Good morning. Good morning, colleagues. Today we're going to talk about literature review. As you all know, that is a third step in the research problem formulation. Okay, so when we really talk about literature review, mostly literature review is just a comprehensive summary of previous research topics that have been researched by other researchers. And we use these old researchers just to get a glimpse of our topic or a certain research that we are busy with. And as they say here, okay, literature review is just surveys, articles, books, and other sources relevant to particular area of research or a written academic showing knowledge and understanding of an academic literature on a specific topic placed in context. So literature review mostly just helps us in identifying um, the topics and giving us a bit of knowledge and also understanding on the topic that we are busy with the research. Okay, now these types of literature review. This simple literature review, which is a brief overview of topic, not necessarily or purely academic in scope, and often uses popular sources. Although popular sources are noted to their weight and value can be judged. This review is often just the start of the research process. Okay, that's the first type of literature review. Let's proceed on the second type of literature review, which is applied. Applied is used mostly in business, government, and other professional environments. Applied literature reviews are more fact-finding and exercises and used to look at marketability and profitability. They look at change and value objectivity and accuracy in similar projects and programs. Okay, so as you all know that applied is mostly used in businesses. This is just to check the profitability and it mostly used on the marketability as I stated here. And then we proceed to the academic literature review, which which requires accuracy, quality resources, objectivity, and also quality analysis. But unlike the other two styles of academic review, this one requires a depth. This requires a depth than the others do. So it's more that's the difference between the three types of literature review. And let me take you to the sixth slide, whereby we talk about details on literature review. It's just an insight about literature review. So, the review should, what you should know that is that when it comes to literature review, the review should enumerate and describe summaries objectively, evaluate and clarify this previous research. It should also focus on the theoretical base for the research and assist to determine the nature of the research. Okay, do you get that? So they say that literature review acknowledges the work of previous researchers. And if we can go back to that sentence, it usually states that literature review acknowledges the work of previous researchers. So, meaning you must also acknowledge the work of previous researchers in doing so, it assures that readers that your work has been well conceived. And when talking about acknowledging the previous uh, research for other researchers, this mostly we talk about. This is now referencing whereby you have to reference or acknowledge the researcher of his or her his past research, and it also assumed that by mentioning a previous work in the field of study that the author has read, evaluate, and assimilated that work into the work at hand. Okay, so that was just the details about literature review. Let me continues in the seventh slide, and it says that literature review creates a landscape for the reader, giving him or her a full understanding of developments in the field. Okay, so this gives us or gives the leader a depth understanding in her field or whatever topic the researcher is going to research. And the landscape informs the reader that the author has indeed assimilated all previous significant work in the field into her or his research. Therefore, it is important to have proper literature review in the area of study to reveal similar investigations and suggest approaches in dealing with similar problems. Yeah, I'm sure this is very clear to you. Hope you understand, colleagues. And then we proceed on the eighth slide, whereby these are just for me. I call them the steps of literature review. Mostly there are probably eight, and this goes by the first step is by selecting the topic, as we all know, by selecting the topic, and then the second step, you should set the topic in context, and then the third one, look into the information sources that know those information sources. Those are your different types of research or articles that you got in different types of books or whatever you're busy with, that gives you an insight and just to understand more about the topic. And the use of information sources also, that now that's the fourth step, and it's in extracting the information, where you are getting the information. And now the seventh step is by, I mean, the sixth step is by managing the information in the right way. And then we come to the seventh, that's positioning of the literature review. And then the last step, whereby writing the literature review. So this is mostly just about the steps of literature review. So we have them. So I call them the eight steps of literature review. And taking you to the ninth slide. Okay, this is the four main objectives of literature review. So the main objective is that it surveys the literature in your chosen area of study. It also synthesizes the information in that literature into a summary. Okay, and it critically analyzes the information gathered by identifying gaps in current knowledge, and this is by showing limitations of theories and points of view, and by formulating areas for further research and reviewing areas of controversy. And so the last point is just like it presents literature in an organized way. So that's the most objectives, the main four objectives of literature review. Taking you to the last slide. Let me take you to the last slide, which is just a conclusion about literature review. What you must put in mind is that literature review shows your reader that you have an in-depth grasp of your subject, and that you understand where your own research fits into and adds to an existing body of agreed knowledge, and gives you an inside look or an open up the gaps about the given topic or the topic that you are about to research. And without literature review, as we all know, that it's hard to come up to this understanding. So it's very important when it comes to literature review. And before you start a research topic, or let me just say, before you proceed with your topic in research, we all know that literature review is the third. That's the third step as we know it. And without literature review, there won't be much of work to be done. So it's very important. So let's keep in mind that literature review is a very, very important. So, and that's it for today. So see you in the next video. My name is Jesse, and see you in the next video. Have a good day.